today onwards, we are going to start our playlist, okay, of data engineering, of which our first module will be of MySQL. And today onwards, we will be first of all covering all the lectures and understanding what has been necessary for the data engineering part as well. Okay, so today's topic basically is MySQL. Okay, and if you are new to the channel, please support me, and it will generally help me to make more videos and encourage me so that it would be helpful for you as well. Okay, and for me to be motivated. Okay, okay. So without any further ado, I think let's start our session. Um, yeah. So our today's topic is MySQL. So what do you mean by MySQL? Okay. So MySQL is a generally nothing but an application or a software which is used for handling of a data. Okay. मतलब, um, MySQL is nothing but an application. Okay. Or a kind of a tool or a software which is used for handling of a data. Okay. And what is the data? Okay. So you must have heard of a different term of a data, right? We get a data from different sources, right? So what do you mean by data? So data is nothing but it is a raw fact, okay, which is collected from different sources, okay. So it is a raw fact which is collected from different sources and it has no meaning without processing, okay. Example is number, text, video, or audio. So whenever the data has been there, and whenever the objects, certain objects which we are getting from different sources, and it has no meaning to it. Okay, so it is nothing but a data, and the information is basically is what we can say is that it is a processed and a meaningful data which helps in decision making. Okay, when the data has been processed properly, when the data has been processed properly, and after that processing of a data, which we get is information. So, say for example, sales increased by 15%. So, it is the information which we are getting. Say for example, if we are only having a 15% or a sales written in, so it does not add any meaning to it, right? So, it is a meaningful sentence which is nothing but a information. Okay, so when this information is collected, so this collection of information makes a record. Okay, so when this information has been collected and collected, okay, collection of information makes a record. Okay, point to be noted. Also, there are different kind of a data which we are having. There are different types of data, of which first one is structured data. Structured data. Second one is unstructured data. Third one is semi-structured data. Okay, these are the three types of data which we are having, of which the structured data is basically from the term structured data. You will be able to um, understand few points as well, right? The data which has been structured, okay, and which is in the particular manner, so it can be understood to us, right? So that is kind of a structured data. So yeah, so structured data are the data which is being in a structured format and which is in a format of rows and columns and stored in the form of table. So this is known as a structured data. say, right? So this is tables, okay? Save and we in and this structured data. Uh, to store this kind of a structured data, we generally use different softwares. Okay, say for example, MySQL. Okay, okay, and we are having SQL server as well. Okay, as well as Oracle. Okay, these are the different softwares or application which are generally used for the structured data. Okay, there is also an unstructured data. Okay, which don't have any structure to it. Okay, so say for example, uh, images. Okay, audio. Okay, these are unstructured data. And what do you mean by semi-structured data? Semi-structured data is nothing but a combination of structured and unstructured data. Okay, which is structured as well. Some of the points have been structured, and some of the points are not been structured forward. Okay, it's a combination of both the types of data. Okay, say for example, JSON file. Okay, JSON file we are having XML. Okay, we are having logs as well. Right, this is a different type of data which we're having, which is structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data. Got it? Yeah. So, okay, okay. Um, now let us understand a basic concept which you need to remember. Okay, and it will be very easy for you as well to understand it very properly. Okay, yeah. So, okay, yeah, so we are having this structure in which let us take a data. Okay. So the first step which we are having is a data. Okay, so in this, what I am trying to tell you is that how the whole process works. Okay, how the data has been collected and what happens to that kind of a data afterwards. Okay, yeah. So first, data has been collected from different sources, okay, which can be from different websites, from different logs, okay, from different kind of okay things. So this, after this data, which is data is nothing but a what data is a unprocessed, yeah. So data is nothing but a raw fact which we get, and it has no meaning to it. Okay. And after the processing of a data, which we get is information, correct? And after this information has been collected, we store this information, we store this information in the form of records. Okay. And these records, okay, the records are nothing but a collection of information. And these records, the collection of different records are stored into table. Okay, stored into table. And this table is being stored into a database. Okay, and this database can be of different type. Okay, and this database is generally stored into the DBMS. Okay, and this DBMS, uh, which we generally use for storing of a structured data, is nothing but a RDBMS. Okay, so let us try to understand it very properly. Okay, so data is being collected, first of all, which is no meaning to it. And after that, the after processing of the data, we get the information. And after the information is being stored in the form of records. Okay, and these records are stored in a table, okay, in the form of a table. And this table are basically stored, this table basically, and so there is not only a single table which we are getting, right? So collection of different tables, okay, collection of different tables is nothing but a database, okay? Collection of different tables is nothing but a database. And the database which we are currently using in this scenario, okay, is RDBMS, okay, which is nothing but a relational database management system. And DBMS is nothing but a database management system. Okay, RDMM is nothing but a relational database management system, which is used for storing of a relational table, which is nothing but the tables which are in structured format, okay, in the form of a rows and columns. Okay, right. So this is the basic thing which each and everyone should understand. Okay, which is very helpful for. Okay, so yeah, so let me write it down as well. Okay, so database. So database is nothing but it is a collection of different table, and DBMS is a software used for maintaining the database. Okay, so DBMS is nothing but a software used for maintaining the database. Okay, and RDBMS, which is nothing but a relational database management system. Okay, which is okay, is a relational DBMS in which the data is stored in the form of tables, which is nothing but a structured format, structured data. Okay, okay, got it. Go through it very properly once again. Okay, okay, so let us now try to understand. Okay, we are learning this master basically for the data engineering perspective. Okay, on the basis of data engineering. So data engineering. Okay, so data engineering, we are trying to understand. First of all, what is data engineering? Okay, so data engineering is nothing but a engineering in which we work with the data, we build up the models, we build up the ETL or ELT pipelines and manage the data, okay, which is which can be helpful um, for we generally build a different pipelines, okay, which is nothing but a ETL or ELT pipelines, which are generally used for transferring of a data, okay, and used for a storing of a different kind of a data as well, which is nothing but a data engineering. Okay, try to you also try to go through Google as well and try to understand the data engineering concept um, through it so that it would be very easy for you to um, to understand what is data engineering. Okay, so in data engineering basic, there is a data flow. Okay, data flow. Okay, data engineering. In data engineering, there is a data flow. Okay, how the data works. Okay, of which first of all we are having raw data. Okay, which is nothing but a which is nothing but a structured or uh, semi-structured or unstructured. Okay, so this is the kind of a data which we're having in the first phase. Okay, and after that we are having. Okay, let me first of all draw it for you. Then I will explain. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, processing takes place or ETL. Okay, after we are having information which will make a report or analytics. Okay, so this is the data engineering workflow basically, in which the first of all the raw data is being collected, which can be in the form of structured data, semi-structured data, or unstructured data, which has been then processed properly in the processed in the ETL pipelines as well, which has been then uh, which has been then converted into the information, which is nothing but reports, which are generally used for reports and analytics afterwards. So from this, what you try to understand, which is ETL. Okay, what are you trying to tell me? Okay, so ETL is nothing but there are three processes. Okay, for processing which takes place, of which first one is extract, second one is transform, third one is load. So this is the full form of ETL, extract, transform, load, which is generally takes place for the processing. Okay, so extraction of data takes place, transformation of a data, and then loading of a data takes place. Okay, so this is the thing which we are going to learn afterwards. Okay, so just keep in mind that this is the whole setup which we are going to work on. And this is the basic structure of a data engineering, how the data flow takes place. Okay, go through it. Okay, so uh, yeah, so the thing which we are learning is data engineering, right? So what are the basically um, what is the basically use of a data engineering? You may ask, okay, what is a real-time use case in data engineering? Okay, real-time use case of a data engineering. So there is a e-commerce, say for example, there is a e-commerce transaction storage. Okay, there is e-commerce transaction storage in which we are in which there are different transactions which has been taken place and we are storing the data, which can be of logs and event storage. Okay, data staging areas. Okay, and analytical marks as well, right? This is the basically one example of a real-time data engineering in which we are currently storing different transactions into a database. Okay. Yeah. So also, as I already told you about RDBMS as well, right? What is RDBMS? It is a relational database. Okay. Um, right. Yeah. Okay. 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 As of now, how the MySQL is. What is MySQL is nothing but an application or a software which is used for handling of a data. So there are different databases also, okay, which can be used. Okay, so there are different types of a database. Okay, there are different types of databases as well. Okay, which can be used. Of which first one is the MySQL. Okay, for MySQL. Okay, second one is also we are having uh, Postgres. Okay, Post uh, Postgres SQL. Okay, Postgres SQL. And afterwards, we are having also Oracle database, also we are having, and also SQL Server. Okay, yeah, okay. These are the basically four, and there are also many of them databases which can be used, of which MySQL is generally used most often. Okay, so yeah, so these are the different kind of a database which can be used, of which we will be using MySQL, okay, in this lecture. Okay. Yeah, got it? Yeah. Okay. So this is the all the basic stuffs which you need to understand in the first lecture. Okay. Which is very important. Okay. And you need to um, go through it very properly as well, which is the basics. Okay. Which are generally the basics of MySQL, which you need to know. Okay. Yeah. I guess this is what we will be learning. This is what uh, you will be learning today, I guess. This is the end of a lecture from my side, actually. And in the next lecture, we will be learning about different database languages as well, okay, and other processes as well, okay. So this is the basic concept which all of you need to know, okay. So go through it very properly, okay. Yeah, and thank you for being here. And if you find this lecture very useful and you understand it very properly, and so please subscribe, like to my like the video as well, okay? And it will motivate me as well because it is my first video, and I think if I'm getting enough of encouragement from your side, it will be very helpful for me as well, okay? Yeah. I will also try to improve myself if you're getting any problems in it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. And that's all, I guess, from my side. And we will be, this is the lecture one. Okay. This is the lecture one. And I will be posting a lecture two very shortly. Okay. And yeah, that's all. Yeah, thank you very much.